Today, I want to talk about the problem with AI alignment. So, the other day, I was using ChatGPT as one does, and what caught my eye and my attention, I should say, is that it was creating a list, and in that list, it failed to count the number of points correctly. So, when let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 5. I don't know if that's exactly what it was, but it's something akin to that. And that got me thinking of the problem with alignment in these AI models. So let's say that, there's that famous example in like 2016 with Microsoft's, not quite an LLM, but the precursor to LLMs model that was trained on all of Twitter. And what they found is that it became, very controversial, let's say, rather quickly. And so they had to shut it down. So now, let's go into the present age or a few years in the past. They have these LLMs and they are using reinforcement learning, human feedback to train these models, and they're aligning them to their supposed ideals and morality of these companies, or let's just say of the world at large. And in this alignment, a model could count to 10 correctly, but the points in each of that corresponding result did not align with their supposed belief system, their ethical system, their epistemology, whatever you want to say. And so they chose a different response. And that different response maybe couldn't count the number of points correctly, but it gave the response that they wanted to hear. It aligned with their belief system. And so then this raises, I guess, an important consideration that maybe through this over excessive alignment, we're actually dampening model reliability, and we're actually making models themselves worse and worse, because to have them align or cohere with epistemological structure of the world, we have to cause it to have bad responses or bad foundational ontological constructions. So I remember in Boethius's Consolation of Philosophy, he talks about at one point, this isn't word for word, but I believe it's in book 2, that for every true belief, or every truism that one rejects, in its place is a false belief or a false truth or an untruth that creates a veil over the individual's perception. And so essentially what we're doing with these AI models, if we use that as an analogy, is that we're putting this veil over these models in which it's not cohering to the nature of reality. And it's actually perceiving the world incorrectly, and it's creating patterns that don't exist, because maybe to have a model that can count to 10 correctly, it might have to have certain other beliefs that people in the regime or people in the world or in this, globalized world order, that we need to have certain beliefs that actually don't cohere to reality. And that's the problem, that these models are just going to get worse and worse and worse unless something happens. And that could be that certain companies, like we saw a few years ago with DeepSeek, came out, and maybe it's because they're aligning the model correctly in the sense that it coheres more to reality. Its constellation of epistemic beliefs are more true and justified compared to the models that are in the United States through Anthropic or OpenAI or Google and all these places. But there also raises another question about the belief system that we have in the West. What is that doing to the soul? What is that doing to our perception? And by soul, I'm not prescribing to one religious belief or idea structure. I'm just using it in the sense of antiquity, where it means the essence of someone. So you could think of an Aristotelian means that is the formal cause, is the soul. And so if the essence of the West no longer coheres to reality, what does that mean? And so what I think about is the nature of the good. So that's capital T, capital G. The good is strictly identical with reality. The reality is good. And so evil, that which is not good or that which is opposed to good, can't coexist because it's not real. And so that's, I guess, why so many people have fallen into despair, and because the world outside of their self isn't real. They're in this sort of metaphysical bubble of reality in their own person while existing in unreality. So what is going to happen? Well, the only thing that can happen is for that unreality to cease to exist. Because it can exist, definitionally speaking, because it's not real. It's not reality. It does not exist. It might exist for brief moments in time, but in the grand scheme of eternity, it won't exist. So I guess I just wanted to make this video to talk about this observation I had. So thank you all for watching, and maybe I'll make some more videos if you guys like this. All right, bye.